Welcome back, my dear students. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun. Let's continue with our lecture. Now, what I want to do in this particular lecture is build some type of navigation system. I think one of the main components of Vue.js is the router. So let's get to it. So with the router, we need to download. So turn off your server, Control C. Let's do npm installed Vue router, like this, Vue-router. Okay, it's going to install that package. And the Vue router, what is it going to allow us to do is to switch the data. Okay, every time we click on a link or we go to a different URL, the JavaScript is going to detect that URL and we're going to associate that URL with a component. So it's going to switch our component. So if I click on the home, that JavaScript is going to detect that URL, is going to detect that string, and it's going to take me to that component if I associate it with it. Okay, whatever component has the home data. That's why it doesn't need to refresh the page, because it's JavaScript. It's just switching data. It's not refreshing or making a new request. Okay, so let's clear this out and let's make sure that we run npm run dev. And let's go to our main.js file. This is where we are going to be registering our router. This is the main file, guys. Okay. So we're going to do import Vue router with an uppercase Vue and then the second word uppercase as well. The second router from the Node.js folder. And that's why we don't use the dot / because it's in the node modules folder. Okay, sorry. So now that we have the router, we need to tell Vue to use it. Let's use it right here, and we pass it in here, Vue router. There we go. I'm gonna put a semicolon even though it's not needed. I like to put semicolons on when I'm finished. Okay. So now let's construct our routes. We're gonna contain our routes in a constant, which is, this is, the reason why we use constants, and this is a new ES6 feature, is so the value doesn't change. The value is not going to change. You can use a constant. It's the same thing as a variable. I mean, as a declaration of let and var, but it's not global like var. It's not the same thing as var. It's similar because it's a variable, but it's constant. It's not the value. You cannot change the value. So we have an array and we have an object here, and each object is going to have a path property. We tell it where we want our component to be, and then we tell it the component that is going to be loading with a component property, and we want it to load the post component, but we have to import that. So let's go ahead and import that up top. And post from, this is our own file, so it's in components, post. Oh, the semicolon thing, I'm so used to it. I'm gonna leave it off. Okay. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning myself to not put the semicolon. It's a bad habit that I got. Okay. It's telling me that I cannot resolve files. So if I do view, let's see if it takes that or no. Let's see, components and posts. It should work. Let me see. Actually, let me see. This is actually in the same. No, it's not in another directory. It's not in the components directory. Is it? Yeah, it is. Sorry about that. It is. It is in the components directory. I just can't find it for some reason. Oh, we're missing an S. Still, no. It's there, guys. It's there. There we go. Let's just do it like this, even though it should work like this. Okay, let's just let's do it like this. I think it's not gonna work the other way. This is actually Babel using these features here. So anyway, we'll find out if it works without it. I thought that it don't need it. That's what I thought. So let's check it. Now the next thing to do would be to register it down here, but we need to do one more thing. All right, let's create another variable here. Let's instantiate the Vue router, and we're gonna pass in our routes to this guy right here, and our routes. To a property called routes, we're going to pass our routes, okay? Don't confuse that. It's a property here that it's supposed to have, and we're going to pass our routes. Now this Vue router right here, or this router constant, we got to pass it in right here. Now we can pass it in like this, or we can use the new ES6 shorthand by just doing that. And the reason why we can do that is because they both have the same name. Okay, guys, remember that I have an ES6 course, just in case you guys want to get up to date with that. Anyway, this should work. Put the semicolon there. All right, so we are, right now, if you saw how that changed, go rewind the video a little bit. You can see that / and the / That means it has changed. So in the next lecture, we'll finish this up and show how we can click on our navigation and switch to components. Okay, but that hash symbol that we had in the URL, the hash or the number symbol, whatever you want to call it, means that our router is installed. We're gonna make sure that it works 100% on the next lecture. Thank you, guys.